Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is officially September 1st today and I got so excited. I really wanted to wear a sweater. I'm really hoping I'm not going to be hot because I already am. So I'm in another location today. Just really wanted to get this video up for you guys because you know how you just always think you can improve and it kind of limits you from seeing the growth that you've had, at least in my experience. So I've definitely been wanting to wait to film this until I felt like my absolute best, but honestly I've been really happy with my growth recently and just really proud of how far I've come this last year. Last year I was back in the gym, I was going hard in the gym, seeing gains really fast. And I kind of want to go over this last year with you guys because I have done videos talking about my entire fitness journey, but I want to get a little more specific with what I've changed the last year because I feel like I've seen so much growth this year alone, maybe even the most I've seen in my entire fitness journey. And I get so many questions now more than ever posting the pictures that I post now because obviously I feel like I have seen a lot of progress. So people are like, how did you jump from this to this? How did you look like this before and this now? So I'm hoping to kind of give some answers in this video, some things that I've discovered along the way, especially this year. And yeah, I did take some notes, but I just really didn't know how much I wanted to talk about in this video, so we'll see how much I look at these notes here. But I think I want to make this video kind of quick and just talk about the main lessons that I've learned with trying to grow and just seeing growth fast, because I think everyone wants that. And before I forget, I want to remind you guys to please subscribe if you are not subscribed already. I have a lot of people that watch my video that do not subscribe to me for some reason, so do not forget to hit that subscribe button, and also please give this video a thumbs up. I just got back from San Diego. I know I was just there, but I am moving there, so I wanted to check out some apartments, and I wanted to film this video when I could like properly get up and show you guys like my physique right now. But to be completely honest with you, I was just pigging out on this trip, eating Italian food in Little Italy, eating ice cream at night, pizza at night, just the whole thing, because I was in San Diego and I just, you know, I want to enjoy myself. So I'm a little bloated coming back from the trip, actually very bloated, but I'm already feeling better today. Just drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated. So I'm probably not going to be doing like a physique check on video right this second, but I am going to be showing videos from right before I left for my trip last week and just some videos from the last couple months. So let's get into this. So the last year, guys, I have been grinding, and I think the cool part about being on this fitness journey is you just discover more and more what works best for you. And I think it's super important to remember that like everyone's journey is so different. As much as you can give advice that works for everyone, at the end of the day, everyone's body handles food and calories and working out differently. I think it's just really important. Remember, this is an individual journey. I personally love that aspect of my fitness journey because I just realized so much about myself the last year with the way my body is, and I love that. So yeah, very personal. Do not forget that, guys. Everyone's body's different, and that is so beautiful and amazing. So just wanted to start on that note. But yeah, guys, this year I'm very happy to say I have grown significantly. I'm gonna just start with some before and after pictures of last year versus right now. So over the last year, this is kind of the process that I went through. So quarantine obviously happened last summer, and my gym opened back up in July. So all that summer I was working out at home. I was doing dumbbell only workouts. I was definitely eating really good, meaning I was just keeping my protein intake super high because I knew that I was limited to working out at home. So I needed to step up my game with eating, and I was super consistent with it last summer, and I definitely saw progress. When I got back into the gym, I was going harder than I ever went before. I was like, I'm getting all my gains back. All that weight that I had lost in 2019 was still kind of off of me. I definitely went into that fall with not much extra fat on me, and I will be showing pictures during that time right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I was working out and just maintaining my weight for probably, how long was it? July, September, October. So I want to say it was almost 4 months. I was simply maintaining my weight. I really loved the way I was looking, but it got to the point where I was like, I want to gain weight. I want to see kind of what my body is capable of. I've definitely never been someone that has ever been like afraid to gain weight. I think it's super fun to experiment, and I think that the mindset I try to keep when I am experimenting with weight is just that nothing is permanent. I can always lose the weight, I could always gain the weight, and it's just fun to see what your body is capable of. So I was like, I'm gonna go on a bulk this winter. You know, we're all inside, still kind of quarantining, and I had never really done a bulk, like a full bulk before, and really was able to see what my body could do during that time. So I was back in the gym, and I gained a lot of weight, got extra thick this last winter, which was 2020, and I was not keeping track of really my calories for the most part. There was a good couple weeks that I just wanted to see what I was eating kind of calorie wise, so I knew for the next time I bulked if I wanted to bulk again. So I would say I was probably eating around 3,500 calories, and I gained weight very fast. When you are a little smaller and shorter, weight just looks a little more dramatic on you. So I gained weight very fast, and a lot of it. There were definitely periods during those months that I felt very uncomfortable with all the weight I had, especially during that time of the month. I felt like I was extra bloated and just uncomfortable, to say the least. But there were also times that I really, really loved the extra thickness and just what I was capable of seeing with the muscle growth and the extra fat. So there were definitely pros and cons. I think what I realized during that time was I definitely feel more comfortable with a lot less fat on my stomach. I am someone that kind of gains all over. I definitely gain a significant amount in my lower half, but I gain everywhere, in my arms, my stomach, my back, my legs, everything. I gain weight everywhere, so you definitely noticed that on me when I was bulking last winter. But I really enjoyed the process of just, again, seeing what it looked like with me weight training really hard and consistently every week. I was doing legs 3 times a week. I was lifting heavier than I had ever lifted, because something I didn't realize when before I bulked was the more weight you have on you, the easier it is to lift heavy. So I was hitting my PRs, I was just going really hard in the gym and being very conscious of my protein intake as well. So I saw significant growth during this time. I will show pictures here. I think this is one of the best ways to show how natural I really am, because your girl gained weight everywhere. Like I said, I mean, you can see it in these photos, in these videos. I was not one of those people that kept weight off my stomach. It was just there. There were times that it was better than other times, but for the most part, I just had a lot of extra fat everywhere. So that was last winter and fall. Honestly, I was bulking probably until the end of January, and then I was planning a vacation, so I was like, I need to lose some fat here. Like, I am gonna be in a bikini and I want to feel comfortable. So I went on a mini cut. I got really strict with my diet during that time. I didn't like significantly decrease my calories. And to be honest with you, I think I was a little nervous about losing all those gains because I really love the extra fat on my lower body so much, and I just didn't want to lose it. So I think I was a little hesitant to really decrease my calories really fast. So I didn't. I think I went from like 3,000 to like 2,500 and just saw kind of how my body reacted to those. I ended up decreasing them a little bit more because I just wasn't losing the weight as fast as I'd like to. I was adding cardio into my week. Sometimes I would even go into the gym in the morning, do cardio, and then weight train at night because I was really motivated to look good on my vacation. So I saw some progress during that time. I think when it comes to really losing the weight, it needs to be a little bit of a longer, more consistent process, and that is something that I did learn when trying to lose that weight that I had not really experienced before. I felt like I lost some of the weight, but then when I was kind of overeating for a week or so, or I was getting my period, I just felt like the weight kind of stuck back onto me. So one of the more exciting things that I did realize after this bulk was I did feel like I kept on to a good amount of that muscle that I had gained when I was bulking. And that was super exciting for me because I feel like that was my main reason to bulk, was I wanted to gain as much muscle as I could with eating more, and I wanted to see how much I could maintain when I lost that weight. So of course I did lose some size, especially in my legs. I felt like I lost a lot of size when I was cutting, but I felt a lot more comfortable not having all that extra fat in my stomach. I felt a lot less bloated, which was so big for me. I mean, the entire time I was bulking, I felt like I felt so bloated in my face, in my chin, in my arms, literally everywhere. So I was really happy to lose a few pounds. When I was bulking, I want to say I was 149, and then when I cut, I was around 146 in February, April. So after that first trip, I was going on another trip in April, so I knew I wanted to keep up this kind of cut maintain period. So I was focusing on not overeating. I started counting my calories again, still doing 3 lower body days minimum a week. I was going really hard in the gym. All we're doing is going through the timeline of this cutting and bulking process because I think that's super important to what led me to what I look like now. So after I did those cuts, I kind of just really wanted to maintain. There were definitely weeks that I felt like I was overeating and I was very bloated again, but for the most part, I felt like I've done a really good job of maintaining since that kind of April, May time when I wasn't cutting anymore or just focusing on losing a few pounds. Now I want to get into kind of the portion where I talk about the main factors that played into all of the growth that I've seen this year that you guys have been commenting on and just hyping me up for, and it's so greatly appreciated because I really feel like I've grown my body and documented the whole process on YouTube, which wasn't really intentional. I didn't like go into this YouTube journey thinking I'm going to document all my weight gain and weight loss and all my muscle growth. I just knew I wanted to film my workouts and film this part of my journey, and this is kind of where it's led me. So I really appreciate all of you guys that defend me in the comments when people say that I have had some kind of cosmetic procedure done. I always say that I think if you saw me in person, you would think that I was natural for the most part. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys that have been here for the long haul, that have kind of seen me go through these stages that I'm talking about here. So anyways, we're gonna get into the tips that I want to give you guys, things that I've learned this past year with my cutting and bulking process, and how I kind of got to this body I have now. I am definitely the happiest that I've ever been in my skin before. Just very proud of the growth that I've seen. I am nowhere near where I want to be, and this is just, I think, what happens when you start to get into your fitness journey is you're happy for your growth, but you don't feel satisfied with where you're at because you just know you can grow so much more because you've seen it within yourself and you've seen your body transform. So yeah, I'm not where I want to be. Like, I'm not at my final stage yet, but I'm very content and happy with where I'm at right now. So I want to share with you guys how I got here and how you guys can hopefully grow as much as possible in this next year. I wanted to give a really big shout out, of course, to Skillshare for sponsoring this video today. And I have nothing but good things to say about Skillshare. Personally, I have learned so much already just within the last couple months of being a member. If you didn't already know this, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes, no ads. It really is all about learning. They're always launching new classes. As I mentioned in my last video, I spent hours watching Final Cut Pro tutorials and I learned so much in that time, things that I had been trying to find out for over a year from YouTube, and I have just gotten so much out of my membership already. I have put my friends on who wanted to learn instruments. I have put my friends on who have wanted to learn about the ins and outs of starting their own businesses, financial aspect of it, all of those things. I think Skillshare is such a great place to just learn more about interests that you have, that you're already into. Another reason I think they're really cool is it's not just for beginners. I feel like you can kind of be at any level and get something out of Skillshare. So that's how I felt about Final Cut Pro. I don't think I'm necessarily a beginner, but I'm definitely not an editing pro, that's for sure. So I got a lot out of it personally. Skillshare is giving the first 1,000 subscribers of mine who click the link below their first 1 month free of Skillshare. So cool. I love Skillshare, everything they have to offer. I think you'll definitely get a lot out of it. So thank you, Skillshare. So first and foremost, I think the biggest thing that I realized this last year was just how inconsistent I was with my eating. And I have been like preaching to eat more and to eat your protein and all of those things the last year and a half I've been on YouTube, but I feel like there would be days that I would eat at my goal, my protein goal, and then there would be like 2-3 days I was a little under, and then I would be at my goal, and it would kind of just fluctuate like that. And I think just like anything in life, if you're not 100% consistent with it for long periods of time, it's just not going to, you're not going to get to the fullest potential of whatever your goal is. So I definitely realized that I was being inconsistent with my protein intake. As soon as I start eating, like this happens to me every couple months where I'm like, okay, I need to start getting really disciplined with this. As soon as I get back to that mindset and I really every day take it day by day, focus on how much protein I'm eating and really being strict with not going under that goal, I swear I start feeling like I am looking my best. And I think we've all kind of experienced this at one point or another, and I've definitely seen comments and I've responded to comments like this one, but there are times where I maybe didn't do legs in a couple days and I just haven't been eating like I should be, and I feel like, oh my gosh, where did my gains go? I was looking so good before this. What happened? Like, did I lose them? And I think that comes with just not consistently eating enough protein and really building that muscle, because muscle stays. I do think that there are days where I have more of a pump or less of a pump, and of course your cycle fluctuates and you look different throughout your cycle, and there's so many factors that play into how your body is looking in that very moment. But I think that if you're consistent with your protein, that is the only way you're really able to build that muscle, which is where that growth kind of stays. And I don't feel like your body will fluctuate aesthetically as much. Like, you won't feel like one day you look full and your glutes look great and then one day they don't, or you know what I'm trying to say. So keep consistent, be consistent with your protein intake. Take it day by day. Don't let yourself slack. I know I do this as well. I'm like, oh, 1 day's fine, 2 days fine. All of a sudden it becomes a consistent thing and you're not being disciplined enough with your diet. So keep that in mind. Diet is literally everything. I definitely have realized this last year, that diet is everything. I think diet is 80% and the actual workouts are like 20% importance. So that's my personal experience with it, but be more consistent and disciplined with your diet. It's the hardest part, I think, but the most important part. Second thing I want to talk about that I've realized and that has truly helped me is I was not training hard enough for the longest time. Like, I just was not going until failure. I think that I didn't realize like what my body was capable of and how hard I was capable of going, and I was just slacking a little bit. And I hate to say that, but I think I wasn't going hard enough in the gym. I think that there should be at least one set you go until failure on every single workout. Everyone knows their body, best, but I do think that you're probably not training hard enough. That's what I've come to terms with the research that I've looked at, the videos I've watched, my own personal experience. You can probably go harder, so just keep that in mind. I'm very excited to talk about this supplement that helped me because I get so many questions on this supplement, and I think I'm gonna kind of go over what supplements I think have overall helped me the best with this journey and seeing growth this last year. But guys, I love creatine. I get so many questions on creatine, and I was very skeptical to start taking it last year. I have a good friend, Mufid, that actually filmed a couple of videos of mine, if you guys remember him, but he was like, Olivia, you need to try creatine, you need to get on it. I was like, isn't it gonna make you bloated? Like, I do not want to be more bloated than I am. This was back in November of 2020, so not the longest experience I've had with taking it, but definitely a good amount. Actually, it's almost been a year, so kind of a long experience. But yeah, so he was like, get on that, try creatine. I think you're gonna love the results. And I did my own research, and basically all creatine does is it pulls water into your muscle cells. I think I'm explaining that right. I'll have a little kind of description on the screen here. The bloat happens within your muscle. So the only thing that bloats is your actual muscle, which in turn kind of gives you that like pumping look, that pump effect. So whenever I'm consistently taking creatine, I truly feel like I always have a pump. I know that sounds crazy, but I love the way creatine has affected my body. I actually started taking it back in November when I was bulking, and I felt like it was doing good for me, but I was also gaining a lot of weight at the time. So I was like, maybe I should just kind of stop taking this for now so I can really see like where the results are coming from. So stop taking creatine, even though I was taking it for a good month back in November, and I started back up again this spring. I ran out of it, but I loved the way it made me look, so I just didn't get it again after that. But I started taking it again around a month ago, and I forgot how much I loved the way creatine just makes me feel. I definitely feel like it improves my strength in the gym. I feel like it makes me stronger. It makes me feel like I'm stronger. I also think it helps with recovery time. It kind of helps you like bounce back quicker. I'm not as sore when I take it. Again, I always feel like I have a pump. So I think overall, I haven't like documented the muscle growth I've seen when taking creatine, but I've been taking it for a month. I actually stopped taking it the last couple days I was on vacation. I'm like so mad about it because I was loving the way I was looking. But I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna be updating you guys on this next creatine kind of cycle. So creatine, definitely something to consider if you're trying to grow fast or grow in general. I think there's no harm in trying it. The only thing I would say is to make sure you're staying really hydrated when you're taking it. That's really the only thing that I take into consideration. So second supplement that has definitely helped me with my growth is just protein powder in general. I think that for me, and this is what I tell a lot of women that are trying to keep up with a certain protein intake that is a little high for them, is to get into a routine that works for you. Find foods that you really love. For me, I really like conveniency. I'm on the go a lot, and for me, I like to just kind of leave my house knowing that I had enough protein before I left, or I'm gonna have protein on the go. So I love making protein shakes for lunch, for breakfast, after a workout. It's just so easy and convenient. My favorite protein, I've been literally talking about this protein for years before I was an EHP athlete, but I love Blessed Protein. Blessed Protein is vegan, and I have just had a lot of issues with whey protein the last few months. It's actually been causing me to have like really bad stomach aches, which I've never experienced before. So I definitely attributed it to the protein powder I was using and just on the go, getting a scoop and a half of whey. It just was really badly affecting my stomach. So stopped using whey protein altogether. Never have had a stomach ache again, so I know for sure that it was it. And yeah, I love Blessed Protein. It is vegan, like I said. It is a pea-based protein. There's 23 grams in a scoop, and the flavors are so incredible. It is literally the best thing ever. So I also have my EHP code down below for money off. And again, guys, I've been using Blessed Protein for years, been recommending it for years. This is not something new, but I am sponsored by EHP now, so it's just super exciting that I get to talk about something I already loved. But those are the two supplements that I think have impacted me the most and that I love and consistently use still this past year: creatine and protein powder. I think I'm gonna mention this, guys, because I always like to add a little bit of my own mental kind of thoughts when it comes to weightlifting, and this has genuinely impacted me a lot this year, and I truly feel like it's helped me grow faster. But I think that especially in 2021, we get really caught up in what other people look like, and we don't realize how much energy we're giving that, or we're kind of not realizing how much we're resisting something or being anxious about something and just putting so much energy into that negative thought. And what I've done is kind of stopped looking at, I think, accounts that make me feel personally like I'm not good enough with my natural body. I think if you are focused on growing your natural body, you need to be really focused on loving that as well, and not kind of flooding your mind and your thoughts in your free time with things that aren't natural and people that don't look natural and aren't natural. I think I didn't realize how much it was affecting me for the longest time until I kind of was starting to get really, really anxious. I did kind of talk about this in my past video, why you don't have your dream body yet. And yeah, I think that all of these images and these kind of triggers are really affecting us. And I think that if you're gonna be focused on building your absolute best natural body, you need to be focused on that only. I think you need to kind of get rid of the distractions, and anything that's making you feel like you're comparing yourself, eliminate them. It's only going to do good for you. I've definitely taken a step back from TikTok. I've taken a step back from following certain people, watching certain content, and really just started focusing on myself and all of the things, all of the goals that I have for me, and realizing that I am only as happy as my mind lets me be. So I really am just taking care of my mind and focusing only on my growth. I promise if you get to that point where you're only focused on your growth and you're not focused on anyone else, you're gonna feel so much more grateful for your natural body and everything that comes with that. So just a reminder, I had to add that to the end of this video. I really hope this helped you guys. I did want to show a lot of videos throughout this video. I have been through ups and downs with this journey, but overall I have absolutely loved this experience. I'm just really happy to have had the growth that I've had, to be honest with you guys. But I really hope you guys like this video. Please don't forget to give this a thumbs up, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video.